welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited today. We are headed to one of my favorite spots to visit in Calgary. We headed to Heritage Park. This is a local historical village in Calgary that is not only family friendly, but they also have a lot of other events that you can go to throughout the year. So it's normally open from May through to October. So today is Thanksgiving Day in Canada. So it's actually the last day that the park is operating for the summer and fall season. But they also have events all throughout the year. They have an event called Once Upon a Christmas that you can come and visit, and they have part of the park open for visitors to go and see, and then they have different events going on. You can also, for weddings here, a lot of corporate events are held here, like Christmas parties and things. So I'm going to take you around the park today. We'll see most of the park and walk around and see the different areas that you can visit, and I'll also take you into Gasoline Alley at the end of our visit. Yeah, come with me and let's go see Heritage Park. Okay, so we just got into the park. We have our pumpkin spice lattes. So this park opened on July 1st, 1964. And so there was a board of trustees in Calgary that put together this park and financed it essentially. And so they moved all of the houses, all of the historical artifacts into this central location in Calgary, a park that people could come and visit. And it was originally run by volunteers and a couple of staff, but it's really grown over the years. People have their weddings here. There's a lot of different events that happen throughout the year. They have also an annual harvest sale in September. So the first spot we're gonna go and check out is actually a new space in Heritage Park as of this year. It's called Prospector Ridge, and they have a replica mine shaft that they built there. It's interesting to see like what the life of a miner was like back in the early 1900s. So out in the distance, that is a replica oil rig that they built in the park recently. I think it was around the same time that they implemented this Prospector Ridge. But when you first kind of enter this area, there is a replica mine office. So this is where all of the miners would have signed in for their shift back in the day. So that inks out over the reservoir here. So as you come down the ridge here, there is also a replica prospector tent. So this is where a prospector would have lived back in the day when he was mining for gold. And most of the time though, prospectors were not successful in hitting gold, but yeah, it's pretty interesting to see where they would have lived. So one thing about Calgary weather, it's always very unpredictable. So right now it has actually started snowing out, but I'm gonna take you guys inside to look at the mine that they have replicated down here, and passing by. So this is actually a vintage train that they put back into operation just for the park. That's probably one of the highlights of the park, is being able to ride that train. But let's go into the mine entrance right now just to see what a working mine would have been like back in the day. So you come through this tunnel, and it's just at the bottom of Prospector Ridge here. So go in. It's kind of spooky. I think that's a photo op area.
Well, you know what? They're very important because they're the air quality controllers. If the canary stops singing and is sleeping on the job, then the coal miners know that they've hit some bad gas, and they're a very important member of the team. Oh, and I'm going to show you one special thing. You want to look up in the corner here? I only found out. In a horizontal shaft, which is very common to the prairie regions, the coal beds got laid horizontally, whereas when you get into the mountains, you're going to have slope shafts because the beds are going to be very up and down. So two guys working here, one on the pickaxe, working away at the face, and the second one on the shovel loading up the cart. They would get paid by the cart load, maybe $5 for approximately a ton of coal, split between the two of them. They might get 2 loads in a day, and it's the pit ponies or horses that are going to draw these carts up. The other important team member is the canary, the air quality controller. So if it stops singing and is sleeping on the job, so to speak, the miners know they better get out of there fast because they've hit a pocket of bad air.
Right. So one thing that I really love about the staff that work here is they'll actually give you a lot of history on the different buildings and houses. So it's also very educational, not just for kids and families, but also for people that just want to learn more about kind of how things worked that you may not have known the history on. So walking back now from Prospector Ridge, you kind of meet the central part of Heritage Park. So this field right in front of us, that's where they hold the harvest sale every year. It's a volunteer run sale, and local producers donate a lot of produce to be sold, and then all the money goes to charities. So it's really nice that, you know, not only does your money to support the park, whether you just get a daily admission, doesn't only go to the upkeep of the park and all of the money that goes into restoration, but it also goes to really good charities and events that support those local charities too. So one of the reasons that I love this park so much is not only for the ability to be able to see the historical factor in what you learn from visiting a place like this, but also just the nostalgia factor too. So they have all of the carnival rides that you would have seen back during that time that are also operational. So this is the last day of the season, as I said, but they're still operating a couple of the rides behind me. And they're also very child friendly. So, like, they have 2 different sizes of Ferris wheel, one that's more for adults, the other one that's really driven towards kids. But even if you just want to come here for a walk in the morning, it's a really nice space to do that as well. The grounds are very pristine, and the upkeep of this park, I couldn't imagine what they have to do on a daily basis to maintain everything, but it's just a really beautiful space, whether you are coming here for a wedding, a Christmas party, if you're coming here in the summer. For the amount of foot traffic they get through here, it's a really gorgeous park. SS Moyer, so this is the steamboat that they actually have operating throughout the summer season. So this is a staircase that goes down to the boat dock, and it takes you on, it's either a 20 or 30 minute ride of the reservoir. So really beautiful if you just want to give your feet a rest, or if you want to see the park from a different perspective. It takes you all the way around the reservoir. Yeah, just really beautiful. So here's the actual boat schedule. It's just right on the housing before you go down to take a boat ride. These are the daily departures that it takes from July 1st through to October 11th. If you're planning a trip for next summer, these are good times and dates to keep in mind. So another building I love to come and visit when I'm here is the railway car shop building. So in this building, I'm going to see a lot of old CP rail. So whether that was actual snowplow that they used or railway cars themselves, it's really interesting to see. And you can see again the steam train is also coming up in the background there. So for size reference, these locomotives were huge. You can actually go and step right up into the train cart itself. So this would have been where the actual engine was in the train. You can actually smell all the oil still from these cars. So we were just told that you can actually come back to the railway shop in the back of the building we were just in here and have train passenger cars that you can look in. So I'll show you this boardwalk. We're just gonna walk along all the way to that building over there. This railway shop actually holds 5 passenger cars, so we're walking through the first one. Apparently it's the oldest of the 5, and yeah, it's really kind of creepy in here, but interesting. So this is where people would have stayed
Lighting.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Kitchen
Very, very narrow hallway.
and kind of a sitting area. So the next car we're going into is called the Suburban Coach. So if you want to take a screenshot here and read more about the history, but this is actually the newest car of the 5. So it's less bougie than the first car that we got to go through, but this would have, I think, been a regular passenger car. Seats don't look very comfortable, to be honest, but very Titanic vibes in here too. It's also apparently the only car of all 5 that was not made in Montreal. So this is what it would have been like to be a passenger back in the day. The seats aren't too uncomfortable, but yeah, very interesting. So this is the next passenger car that we are going into. This one feels very haunted, and also has a kitchen like the first one, and very nice, much nicer accommodations than the last one we were on. So this car would have been for passengers that were actually being paid to take a trip. So whether it was their position in society or whether they were invited to be on board, you had to have a class in society, kind of like Titanic, to be on a ship. Really beautiful interiors on these ones. And again, a nice little sitting area for the passengers while they're taking their trips across the country. So this is the part of Heritage Park that we've come to. So it's where all of the kind of central city services would have been. Right here is the dentist that we're coming up to.
No, you're right, it isn't stuff.
Solicitor, and this would have been the laundry where people would have come, like the dry cleaners back in the day, but you can kind of see into it where people would have brought their laundry kind of to the front here. And there are some buildings you can go into. These ones, unfortunately, you can't, but it does give you kind of a nice window into what it would have looked like. And then at the end of this walk, there's like a cute cafe you can kind of take a break at if you want, or get something to eat. And then across the street from all the little businesses is the stables as well as the blacksmith. You can actually go into the blacksmiths and watch them do demonstrations of blacksmithing. So I think one of the reasons a lot of people come to Heritage Park is for the bakery that they have here. So if you come to the central part of the park, the bakery, I'll show you, it's just up this walkway. So you can get lots of goodies. It's right across from the Wainwright Hotel. So if you're coming to the park, especially with your family, they do these historical scenes in the town center. So right across from the Wainwright Hotel, they have scenes daily, and that's right by the bakery here. So now we're gonna go do one of my favorite things to see in the park, which is go into the historical houses that are here. It's now kind of raining on us, but yeah, this is my favorite thing to do when I come and visit the park, is actually go into the different houses. And there are actually quite a few of them to go and see, and people will talk to you about the different families that lived in each of the houses back in the 1900s. And behind me too is this field again where they have the harvest sale every year, and we are now getting snowed pretty heavily on, but yeah, let's go see some of the houses. So the first house we're gonna come in to see is called the Prince House. So this is probably the most famous one in the park to come and visit. Even the front is really beautiful, all of the gardens. And they will also decorate these houses during Christmas too. So they normally open up the Prince House. house. And there's a lot of rooms that they have on the top floor, so this is where the children would have lived and played. This next house we're gonna go see is the Thorpe house.
I was just like,
Hello, welcome to the fourth house. Thank you.
have everything in order, 'cause, like, I
Wreath has human hair in it. This would have been pretty common back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. You would give a lock of hair, like a woman might give her husband that, and then he would keep it in a locket. But it looks like this wreath is made of different locks of hair, maybe from the family, I'm not sure. Everything is very small though in this house, because obviously people were smaller back then. But much for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed coming along to Heritage Park with me and seeing a very important local attraction in the city. And hopefully you can make it part of your plans if you visit soon. Again, you can catch me on social media at LoveNatsui. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!